We're told that suppliers of food who are owed over 200 million, Mr.
Chairman, Bernard.
Chamamona, they intend going back to picket. This time they said they are going to take their families, a lot of things.
But it's important to give me just a minute to comment.
Yes. Okay.
I think that it is unfortunate the way land administration in this country is done. If you want to go to some countries, even within Africa, and you want land ownership, there is a one-stop shop that when you go there in less than an hour, you are able to come up with complete documentations on lands in those places. And you carry your land certificate and you are gone. And no encroachment, nobody whatsoever will go into these lands. It is not thinkable that in our modern era, land administration will become this cumbersome, so much so that we will need the services of private hands to go and protect lands meant for the state. For the professor to come and say that third-party services are needed in order to do this kind of execution, I beg to differ. When you involve third parties, particularly private persons, in this matter, you are opening the floodgates for the grooming of landguardism. And I think that is important, that we must have confidence in our state security to be able to protect what belongs to the state. At the end of the day, when there is going to be an established demolition and you go to court, the court will grant orders to the Ghana Police Service to go and execute those mandates. They will not say that go and tell the private third-party engager to go and do this. And I think that it is simply unfair for state resources to be used in this manner. I don't think that it is right. But on the issue that you asked, and Suhini was doubtful why a company incorporated in 2014 could have been engaged in 2012. Why? Didn't we sell 5 million contaminated oil to a company in this country without the company even getting registration? And so it is it is no news for me when you have a government whose pick and hold is to get people, as I said, Yenchendi, identify somebody that you want to siphon state resources for, whether the person is legitimately recognized to do that business or not. This is what happens.
And Roland, you know what? In some cases, after the reclamation, we are told that he's paid 50 acres of land, depending on how much he claims, because he determines the cost that he has incurred for the reclamation. So people die, people are murdered on site, and then he has media to cover up.
Yeah,
that's what the chief director
that is part of the Yenchendi that I just spoke about. Yenchendi means let's share and chop. And so I think that is it. Now, on the issue of the suppliers, yesterday I wept when I listened to the spokesperson for the food suppliers when he said that, look, it was upon the promptings of government that when they were picketing, and indeed when they were picketing, I went there to go and sympathize with them, because these are persons who come from amongst us, and their plight I share in. So we went there with some water and some other support to go and give them. They were sleeping rough in this cold weather, in the raining season, under the trees at the National Buffer Stock Company. And they were eating from there. People had to go and send them food because they came from various parts of this country to come and be there. What is their crime? They are owed so much. And they said that 2021, they were not paid. But they took it that, look, this is the job that they have been doing. And since they have some little capital, they should continue to do the work so that government businesses can be done. 2022, they did not receive payment. 2023, we are in the 7th month. So if you add, in effect, they are owed about 30 months. They have reached their limits. They owe other people who come to attack them, insult them before their children and other relatives. They are disgraced and humiliated. So they decided that they should go. And they went to some regions. Don't forget that they went to some regional ministers who sacked them from their premises. They came to the national buffer stock on many occasions. They will be told that the CEO is out of office. Meanwhile, they will see the CEO's car. And before they realize, the empty car will come and pass. It means that the CEO had left and then the car is going to pick him. The last one that actually angered them is that they got there and they are told that the CEO has gone to Mecca. When there is problems at the national buffer stock, they went to the Ministry of Education and the minister said, no, as far as his records are concerned, it's only left with 10% of payment that needed to be done. At the time that they have ceased paying these people, they have recruited new suppliers. And you know what they are doing? They actually give them mobilization, the new suppliers. They give them mobilization to go and do supplies when the old suppliers are now rendered, useless and pariah within society. Today, you promised them that as of yesterday, they will come and get their money. They started inviting their people to come to Accra. They arrive in Accra, there is no payment whatsoever that is coming their way. I mean, why do we do this to ourselves? Can't we communicate? If you were to mobilize something and it's not coming, as a government, you simply call the people that, look, our mobilization could not go through. Can you hold on? But you allow these people to come. So they have come from Wa, they have come from Pusiga, they have come from Sankana, they are all here. Because you said they should come for their money.
All right.
And so they have come.
So when would they be paid?
Yeah, thank you, Roland. Two things. The first one, the land issue. Yesterday, I heard the Honorable Suhini making his point strongly, and I also heard Professor Kwame Jan also saying that the law allows a third party. The modus operandi is what we need to situate properly, whether Honorable is aware that they are using the land guardism or they are using the structures of the annual company in a way that will prevent others from encroaching on the land. That's it. And I happen to know the chief director very well. He's like a godfather to me, Professor Patrick Agwesinyale. Good morning, sir. Very honest person. So let's go to the details of the matter and unravel what the situation is. The military and the police have issued, and it's mind-boggling to see that somebody will be protecting land for military or police. But let's go into the details. He is the honorable member of parliament. Let's delve into them. And then let's come to the buffer stock issue. Roland, over the last 6 years, this government has paid, contracted about 2.7 billion cedis of food supplies, okay? And we've made payment. It's left with about 10%, which is the 270 million you're talking about. He's saying they've not paid
270 million is just...
No. 10% out of 2.7 billion, Roland. Come on, let me give you the figures there. 2017, you said payment wasn't made.
You're giving me figures for what benefit?
Oh, no. You said
okay.
payments were not made. I also listened to the people, what Honorable Chairman said. 2017, from record, 81.11 million paid. 2018, 296.2 million. 2019, 441.5 million cedis. 2020, 467.9 million paid. 2021, 692.2 million Ghana cedis. 2022, 726.
Not the old ones.
Oh, it's buffer stock supplies. 0.6 million. No, these people have been supplying over the period. And then this year, this year, government has committed that they're going to pay about 50%. Then the remaining 50% in 30, the remaining in 30 days, they come. But you say they're coming to be here. Is that the process by which they were paying them? No, it's because it's delayed and they got angry and decided to picket. Okay? There's been negotiation. You go back, we'll pay you. Okay? In this first half,
they didn't say
but
they are saying,
I heard the man saying they won't take half. And I thought it's not the best, okay, especially the times in which we are. Honorable Suhini himself knows the timing. We all empathize with government, the difficulties. But in the midst of all this, government is doing everything to continue paying all statutory commitments.
In the midst of Yenchen, do you want other people to sacrifice?
Is not the best. But the last one, I still insist that under President Mills Mahama, STS insurance of $2 million was paid.
You made that point already.
Yes, I say insist.
and
He
Roland.
said it's not so.
All right,
And I
Hamza,
said,
Hamza,
I insist that
Roland,
it was
yes,
paid.
Roland,
Fast.
maybe before I
times
comment
of the
on this
phone,
one, let me also just reiterate the point.
We're ending.
Yes, let me reiterate the point that it is completely untrue that 2 million
It's not.
was paid for
Insurance was
insurance.
paid.
All right.
What was given STX was a sovereign guarantee, which was
No, that's a matter of
it was
course.
not yes,
That
it was
was a
not,
matter of
it was
course.
not,
Okay,
it was
okay.
no money was
That
paid.
was a matter of course.
Thank you very
you know,
much.
can I
Chief
comment on the
Guarantee
buffer
was
stock
a
thing?
matter-
I just
he
wanted
didn't
to say
comment on that. Yes,
I
yes.
sympathize with the people who are involved. But you see, Roland,
Not
for
government.
me, the problem is not with the people who haven't been paid, and it is not also with the buffer stock company. The problem is with our government. And you remember I said that they have corrupted almost every sector in this country. Go and look at the mandate of the buffer stock, Roland. The mandate of the buffer stock. Why Professor Mills, in his wisdom, set up the buffer stock. I'll just share with you. It was to stabilize food prices, provide food security, and ensure market stability in Ghana. That was the purpose of buffer stock. To buy farm produce during hamper seasons, store so that
Without
they can guarantee
warehouses.
so that
Store
wait so that they can guarantee some level prices for farmers when they have bumper harvest. And then during lean seasons, they release it onto the market to control prices. If you came and you thought that the buffer stock needed warehouses to store the food, that is why governance is a continuum.
Thank you.
You build warehouses. You don't turn buffer stock into a middleman where all they do now is to award contracts to people to go to the market to buy foodstuffs, to send to schools in the name of feeding students under free SHS. So all buffer stock now does is they sit in their office, issue letters of contract to friends and cronies to go onto the market to buy mackerel and rice and go and deliver to schools and report back how many they have delivered. And sometimes, in some cases, we even hear some of them don't even deliver anything. They go to the schools and enter into agreements with school administrators.
How?
They sign that they have supplied.
How?
And then they have to pay.
How do
So
the
you see,
students
I am
food?
not too worried about what is happening now. I am more worried about the corruption of the purpose.
You've been a student
For
leader.
which
You should be
buffer stock
empathizing
was
with
set
the
up.
people.
Thank you.
You've been a student
Thank
leader.
you.
You should
Thank
be
you very much.
empathizing with them.
Mr.
The political
Koku Amedume. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Okay, so he speaks for the food suppliers. I'm told that government has made available the opportunity to pay you, but your members say that they are coming back to picket and all that. Why are you doing that?
I'd like to say good morning to you, Roland, and good morning to your studio panelists, and good morning to your viewers out there. Government has not fulfilled its promise yet. We were told on Friday that we were going to be paid on the 17th of July, which was yesterday. And we're also told to inform our members across all the regions to start coming from Monday for our money. And so we did that. We informed our members. We got to buffer stock premises. Some came from Upper West, some came from Upper East, some came from Bronga-Hafu region, and some came from Water region. And some, as I speak with you, got to Accra this morning, and some are also on their way coming.
Okay.
Because of the promise that was made to us on Friday. But unfortunately, we waited yesterday from morning 6 o'clock till 2 o'clock when we were invited by the chief executive of where he told us that the money that he was expecting to do the disbursement yesterday had not gotten to his office yet, and that is why he cannot do the disbursement.
So when would the money be disbursed? And does it mean that if it's not disbursed, you still picket or demonstrate?
Yeah, if I could end where I'm taking this. So yesterday, the response he gave us, we did not that response did not find favor with the membership. So we went to the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Brian Achampon, where he said that he had just released the money to buffer stock, and so we should give another 3 days for that check to mature so they can disperse to our membership. But what I want to put across here is that these are members who don't work in offices. These are members who toil day in, day out to source for the food supplies. And it is this business that has sustained them over the years. They don't rely on monthly salary or monthly payments for anything they do. This is what they have done over the years for their survival. And this is the case where their capital have been locked up with buffer stock. My brother, having stayed in Accra, now that they are in Accra, they are going to be here for 3 days. And they are going to stay in hotels. And it is going to be at their own cost.
All right.
The transportation is going to be their own cost. And we thought that government could have done better when they knew that we are not going to get the money yesterday. They shouldn't have allowed us to invite our members to come here, and then they're going to be paying here for 3 days. And Roland, let me bring to your notice that this is not the first time that we've been taking through this kind of horrific and terrible situations where we are made to incur all kinds of expenditure without explanation.
All right, Mr. Gokwame, thank you very much for this. We have to end it here. Mystic Wonder inside Adwejiri says it is an undeniable fact that the insensitive government is suffering from credibility crisis and has failed Ghanaians. Indeed, the future is pregnant. He ends. I have this one from Chris from Ashalibuche. Why would the so-called we have the men government pay $2 million on a mere artistic expression like the construction of the Sky Train? And that's from Chris from Ashalibuche. The correction is that it was shareholding that was paid. Now, let me just read a couple more. I have this one from Tio Adai, who says that Bernard is right. It is create and share. Please read my message. I am watching you. And then Money says I should ask the NDC MP what they would do if they were elected in office to recover the money. Okay. And then we have a couple more of the messages. So from Philip Abochi from Keta, it says that I'm also in support of the minority. The government seem to be misappropriating money gradually. So we need the 2 million that was paid retrieved. This cannot continue. And then also from Jerry Amajuro says, as for Jechi Kwesin, COVID couldn't delay his renunciation certificate, but any failure under this government is due to COVID. All right. And then you said I should ask the MPP communicator whether we even have a proper land rail system, let alone going for a Sky Train system. That's Dr. Akum from Boku. And then for Kafuiho says Nadmo seem to be collapsing on the MPP. It says speaking fine English alone is not enough. And well, we have a couple of you also on our streams. We're happy that you joined us. Amoda Hamidu, Sereka Akraza, as well as Akazire Anabela, Patrick Opoku, Newton Jeke. It's been a while. I hope that you're well. And Evans Blay is also there. Well, so that'll be it for now. Thank you. Thank you, George, as well as Chairman Mona. So.